Hello and welcome to the next of my editing tutorials. So the last couple of sessions has been looking into how I edit, both in a bit of Lightroom and Photoshop, giving a quick overview of how I do my work. I've had a couple of requests just to show how would I be getting the images off the memory card and onto the computer. So I thought I'd do a quick session this time round, which is just going to take you through those basic principles. So for me, I keep Lightroom down here on the taskbar, so it's nice and easy to get a hold of as well. This is what I've just been working on a minute ago, and which is for New Year's Day as well. So just taking you through what's what in here. So we're in library mode. While you're in library mode, you can't really be making any edits to the actual images themselves. This is more for the organizational side of things as well. Obviously, development module, that's going to allow you to be making edits to the actual images themselves. So while you're in here, you can obviously see it's a new volume D. So that means it's on my D drive, which is my main drive inside the computer. That's then backed up onto a drive called E drive, and that's actually mirrored. So I've got everything on the D drive, and then in the E drive there's actually two drives, so it's mirrored inside there. So actually I've got all my work stored on 3 different drives at one time. What we can see on here now is the date, so 2019. There's a couple of last edits that I did. As I said, I changed my computer, so I just got a couple of files on there, and now I'm going to start building up everything as we go through into 2020. So you can see here, as we hover over this one here, which is the 1st 2020, we can see here this starts to highlight this album on here. And if you look at the thumbnails up in the main square up here in the top left hand corner, as we hover over, you get a quick preview of what's in that album as well. So I can see on here, it's quite easy then to be finding what you've shot, what's what basically as well. So when we're in here now, you have to take the assumption here that you've got a memory card reader on the camera. I tend to use that quite a lot. I use one which is on USB 3, so it gives you the slightly better data transfer speeds. If you've got 200-300 photos or 1,000 photos from a wedding or something like that, then yeah, the quicker you can get them onto the computer, the better. You don't want to be sitting around for quite a while waiting for all these bits and pieces to upload. So first things first is, while you're in the library mode here, it doesn't really matter what mode you're in, because what will happen is when you push the memory card in, it's going to register the fact it's coming in there. You get a little marker coming up here which tells you as well. And for me, I then hit on here. We want to then select the card reader. So these are photos I took just this weekend on the beach for sunrise. And yeah, another really nice session that we had out as well. Now if you've been out and you've got a few days worth of images on your memory card, you can sort of be looking here by changing the file type, capture time. So I had it on file type because I had some moving image, some like video that I'd shot as well, so I wanted to separate all that so it was easier to select where everything was going to be going as well. So let's go by capture time as well. It's happy on there as well, and on here a few little bits and pieces you've got just to take you through. So if you're wanting to be editing your images and the computer is not as powerful perhaps as it could be, if you just do quick edits, so if you're doing like a lot of batch processing and things like that as well, you might want to be ticking this one here for build smart previews. So you'll have the main image sort of kind of stored away, and you'll be editing on top of a much smaller, lower resolution image. With that, you're going to be able to speed up your workflow, flick through the images a lot quicker. I tend to leave that turned off. Don't import suspected duplicates. Quite self-explanatory what that one there is as well. So if you tend to keep all your images in the card all the time until it's full, then you delete it, then that's quite handy as well. And then on here, this is going to tell us basically the destination where the images are going to go. Kind of important because we don't want to be sticking them on the C drive for me, because that's a 500 gig drive on there. Then basically I want to go onto drive D. You can see the size of it on here as well, so 3.6 terabytes free on there, so a bit of a no-brainer really that I want my files to go in there. And you can see I've got other catalogs all put away on here. The little tick here is registering, that's exactly where those files there are going to end up going on there as well. And if you needed to change anything else on here as well, I'd apply during import. You can start to applying some presets. So if you wanted to apply some sharpening or make everything black and white, or if you wanted to push the saturation on everything, or if you knew everything needed the exposure to go up, make yourself a little preset and then you can apply that on the import. I don't tend to really do that because I know what I've shot in camera is what I want to be working with as well. And file renaming is you can change the file names when they go in to the actual location as well. So from here, pretty much everything I really want to be looking at, you can be adjusting the thumbnail size if you need to, making things bigger, smaller. If you don't want the picture to import because you can see it's like blatantly underexposed or overexposed, then yeah, just deselect here and you can then correct everything as you need to as well. When you're done on here, last thing you really need to be doing then is just click on import. That's then going to import everything in to your D drive into that location. Watch the number build up here as well, and you'll see all the files are starting to add into the library. And again, as I said, as you hover over, you're going to be able to see what's going on with the files as well. So that's everything's now loaded up because the little sort of distance bar on here has disappeared as well. So if we click on those ones there now, that's now selected that library. We can now click on to develop on here. And then what I then tend to do is I use the left and right keys. So I use those as a navigate. And what I then do, you can then rate your images out of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the star rating. Best being 5, worst being 1. And that way you've got an indication of what you've got shot. So we'll just give that 4 and there. And we can just be flicking through as well. And so these are just some like messing around shots we took while we were just down on the beach as well, just having a bit of a laugh a couple of days ago. And the advantage too, you actually applying this, is that at the end of every year I tend to go through the hard drive from top to bottom from the 1st of January to the 31st of December, and with that what I can then do is I can then look into and see exactly how many images have been shot, and not just with how many have been shot, but also I can then delete them very easily as well. So anything I haven't rated, I can then just go into file, where are we on here, select, and then you can then select, oh, you have to be in library for this one here, library, in edit, select by unlabeled or no star rating. So if you've then done all the star rating on there, and then anything which hasn't got a star rating you can then just delete because it's a bit of a dud, you're never going to use it. And after a year I kind of know if I haven't used it by then I'm not going to be using it. So by coming through, just double checking everything on here, we then know, again using the right hand key on here as well, and we can then sort of see what's what basically. And from there, that's all there is to it. That's just how simple it is. I find it is to do my importing. I now know everything's backed up on my computer, and next time I sync up my computer to be doing the it's sort of backing up onto the E drive, then I've got 3 copies of all my work and I'm good to go. So again, thanks ever so much for tuning in to this short tutorial.